Hello and welcome to Game Over Gerkinman. I am, of course, Gerkinman, and my headphones are way too loud. This is Resident Evil 4, and we're making our way to the island. And now we've got the Chicago typewriter. Things should go over pretty smoothly. Not to mention quickly. Very quickly. Now, is there a cutscene here? I don't remember. I think there is.
Got some business to take care of. See you later.
Women.
Women. Crazy. Alright, so here we are. We are on the island. This is actually where the game starts as well, if you play Assignment Ada. But this is once again a part of the game where I think the style of the game changes a lot. The last part was a lot more, this is a lot more action heavy. The enemies tend to be better armed here with better weapons, ranged weapons in particular, and things like that, which mixes up gameplay quite a bit. And by the enemies have better weapons, I'm not just talking about, can I get up there as Ada? Damn it. I'm not just talking about guns. Although they do have guns now too. What am I doing? Oh. Going the wrong way. Always going the wrong way. Wait, no, that's the fucking wrong way. Oh my god. It is Friday morning. 9 AM on a Friday. And here I am playing Resident Evil 4. I think this is the last we see of Ashley for a while too. I'm not entirely positive. Don't quite remember. Actually, I just noticed you can reload the Chicago typewriter even though it never needs to be reloaded. Right, so generally playing through this game at the moment, we've had, aside from guys with crossbows, we haven't had to worry too much about characters with firearms, but playing through the game normally with those guys are a complete nightmare, to say the least. And since you can't really pop in and out of cover like you can in the games that came out after this, or were inspired by this, like Gears of War and pretty much every third-person shooter that's come out since, they're really hard to deal with, to say the least. But essentially there's a puzzle here. You can see obviously we've got these big mirrors. They're going to be used for solving a little bit of a, certainly not a difficult puzzle, but something just to get those gates to open. Obviously the guys who actually work here didn't have to worry about it. It's only Leon that it affects for some reason. And I was going to try to, it's been a little while. Oh yes, I remember now. Alright. There's a thing I need to switch. Ian pointed this out to me the other day at work, and that's that I run around with 1 health. He's constantly stressed because he thinks I'm gonna die. And I think, okay, that's what happens when you don't shoot the light out first. And I can understand why people find that stressful, because it does certainly make things a little more tense. But I don't know why I enjoy playing the game that way. I kind of like the tension of having very little health and trying not to get hit. And it makes the fact that sometimes I make stupid mistakes, like I did just then when I jumped in front of that guy, which I didn't realize was that little bit more, intense. But yeah, so with this guy, you can't get in and out from behind cover, so you basically, when you're playing through it on normal mode and you don't have access to the totally OP Chicago typewriter, you kind of want to get a big distance between you and him. Usually you'd want to try to use a sniper rifle, but he obviously has really long range with that minigun as well, which makes it much more difficult. I'd say they're definitely one of the harder enemies in the game for sure. Man, so many guys. So many people to kill. Just so many. So just for you, Ian, I'm gonna heal. Because that's the kind of guy I am. So I hope you appreciate lengths I go to keep you happy. Got the sniffles. I hope I'm not coming down with cold. Anyway, how's everyone doing? Is everyone having a good day? Is everyone enjoying the series? I've got a bit of an idea of what's coming up after Resident Evil 4. Of course, we'll be playing through Oblivion. So I'm trying to work out how exactly I'm going to record that game, because I mean, like, the game's huge, obviously, and I don't want to show everything because that would take forever. But I still don't know how exactly I want to approach it. Outside of the vaguest of ideas. Like, I was thinking I could either do just do a single guild, like the Mages Guild or something like that. Or, this is that puzzle I was talking about. Bouncing light beams around. Yeah, so either doing like a single guild quest, like the Mages Guild or something like that, or not so much the Fighters Guild, I think it's a bit boring. Or the main quest. There's also the Dark Brotherhood, which is pretty interesting. Or I was even thinking I could return to Oblivion every now and then and do a series on each part of it. So, Season 1 could be the main quest, which is probably the least interesting quest in the game, to be completely honest. But then after that, do a series on the Mages Guild and a series on the Dark Brotherhood. I don't know that I would worry about the Fighters Guild, because like I said, it's not overly interesting. Yes, I would like to rotate that. Thank you very much. What you got this for a puzzle? Light. But if you've got any ideas, the general idea is I wanted to have one game chosen by, I'm going to use the little air quotes here, but you can't see them because I don't use a face cam. Like a game chosen by the fans, which of course at the moment is Cameo. That's what people voted for, so that's what they got in there. And one game chosen by myself to run through at any one time. And so Oblivion was definitely going to be my next choice for that, because I wanted something that was completely different to what I've been playing. And although I guess technically like Cameo is also a fantasy game, it's very much a different kind of fantasy game, if you catch my drift. But and the next fan game is actually going to be Portal 2, and I'll be playing through that blind. So actually Ian from work, who does watch this show, so someone I work with does watch this for some reason. I think he just likes the sound of my soothing voice. He's going to be lending me his copy of Portal 2, since I don't own a copy. I know, shame on me, I've never played it. And I'm going to be playing through that blind for him on this channel following Cameo. So that's going to be a interesting experience. I did play through the first Portal quite a few times. I really enjoyed it. And the reason I didn't get into Portal 2 was, I don't know, I enjoyed Portal for what it was. I don't think I really felt like I needed more Portal. It's not to say that I thought it was going to be a bad game or anything, because I know it was got a lot of Game of the Year nods that year. But I never really felt that urge to play, that I need more Portal. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun and interesting experience. Now, I missed some treasure back there. Maybe I should go back and get it. Pad this episode out a little bit longer. But yeah, if you got any ideas of, especially if you're... Oh, wait, that is where I have to go? I thought that was... Yeah, maybe that is it. Oh, no, then... Oh, wait. Oh, is it down here? Or is this where I came in? This is where... Oh, my God. I'm so confused this morning. Yeah, so if you have any ideas of how you'd like to see Oblivion done, I was thinking of doing Oblivion as each season of Oblivion being in between other games, because that is a stupid huge game. But yeah, if you wanted to, I guess I should leave the main quest till last, since it is probably the least enjoyable. But a lot of people don't like the main quest. I don't particularly care for the main story, but it does have its cool moments. But if you'd like to see me do either the Dark Brotherhood or Mages Guild or whatever first. Let me know in the comments below, or wherever it is you're watching this video. Let me know what you'd like to see, and that is what I'll do, because Oblivion is huge and there's a lot of things I'd like to do. And while that is my choice, I'd like to focus on the areas of it that you guys would personally find most interesting. And seeing as I know there's a lot of you who have never played the game before, or you know, aren't super familiar with it, or even the Elder Scrolls in general, I'll let you guys take some control, because like I'm literally pretty happy doing anything in that game. So yeah, either the Mages Guild, the Dark Brotherhood, I guess the Fighters Guild's an option if you really want to see that, or the main quest. Let me know down in the comments, and when this is done, that is exactly what I will do. This little crack here. That's so that you can kind of see that there's treasure somewhere. Anyway, let's get out of here. This place is dumb. So basically we're almost already finished with this part of the game, which didn't take long at all. Did that guy's arrow hit my gun? I think it did. Yeah. The gun's so powerful it stops crossbow bullets in midair. Take that. Alright, let's go up there and get that loot. Because once we're through here, I think we're pretty much done with this chapter from memory. From memory. I had some other games I wanted to play too. Like I was thinking of actually doing a Donkey Kong 64 playthrough as well, since that just came out of the Virtual Console. At the time of recording this, it isn't actually out on the Canadian Virtual Console, but since I have an Australian Wii U, I'm running it off the Australian servers, and it is available on the Australian Virtual Console. So I downloaded it last night after Nintendo Direct, or the night before, sorry, after the Nintendo Direct, and because I was just really curious to see how it would look. Nintendo 64 emulation has always been one of those funny things. Nintendo 64 emulation obviously looks really great running through a PC, the higher resolutions and everything. But playing an original 64, it was really blurry. The video output on the Nintendo 64 was absolutely horrendous, and I was really curious to see how, like, playing a Nintendo 64 games through the Wii looked better. But I mean, it was still limited to like component cables. So I was really curious to see just how a Nintendo 64 game would look. Oh, it's a little bit late to use that, but whatever. How a Nintendo 64 game would look running through a... There's a switch, yes, press it. Running through the Wii U and HDMI, and how the emulation would work. And Donkey Kong 64 is a game that like I never thought would ever come out on Virtual Console, like ever. Because it didn't come out on the original Wii Virtual Console. And so I was really surprised when they were like, hey, here's Donkey Kong 64, everybody. I was like, oh, wait, what? Oh, okay, that isn't what it mixes with. So, yeah, that was a nice surprise, and I was almost like, I wonder if I should do an LP of that game, but then I remember there's like, the way I like to do things, right? I like to get like one thing at a time. One banana at a time. Kind of like if we were just playing Super Mario 64, you know, I wouldn't make a whole level an episode. I'd make like each star its own individual episode, so they'd be quite short. And then I was just like, oh my god, there'd be 200 episodes if I was just to focus on the golden bananas. And then I was just kind of like, maybe I won't do Donkey Kong 64, or maybe I will. I was thinking of actually running it in tandem with these two, like whatever two games I'm playing at the time, having like a daily episode of that coming up, but that'd still take up the best part of a year, which is, you know, insane. But I'll leave that up to you guys. I don't know that I have the time to record that much content. I think I just wanted an excuse to play through Donkey Kong 64 again. Ooh, that little audio cue there makes this place seem hella creepy. I forgot that you actually have to... I love the design of that guy who's now dead. With the gas mask with the spikes and everything. It looks awesome. Awesome indeed. Oh, this hanging meat and stuff. That's some... with maggots in it. You can kind of see it with the little animated maggots. Like those little touches, I really, really love those. Although you can kind of see how it's mirrored because these guys are just flipped. But oh man, the first time I came in here, we got like garlic hanging off the wall. knife with more, like, completely different maggot texture there. A lot of effort went into this room here. And that guy who jumps out of there on fire gets me every single time. Every single time. I think he's the only one in the game too. I think. The heat was distorting around the camera and I wanted to point it out, but it's too late now. But, yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, Donkey Kong 64. Anyway, let us know what you think. I might be able to find time to also record that if I'm just getting 5 bananas a week. Oh, I hate these guys. Oh. Well, I hate them normally. He's not so bad, I guess, with this gun. But then, what is... Okay. This is a nice little trick here. Oh my god, she must be in here somewhere. I can hear her.
Ashley. Amateurs. Just hang in there, Ashley. I'm coming for you.
Alright. This is a longer episode. Again, even with this gun. I thought that was going to be the end of it, but apparently not. So even though I've played through this a bunch of times, I always forget like how long each part of it is. Like, all over the joint. Like that would have been a good place to end the chapter, but I'm not going to complain that it's still going. I'm going to complain about too much of a good thing. That would be silly. It's like the fact like the wooden shields make sense with the monks and stuff because they're just armed with like primitive weapons. We're seeing these guys with the tasers, things like that, marching around with wooden shields. You get that weird contrast between like old and new technology. I think that's really cool. That's something that I think this game does superbly is actually mixing like different eras of. You got these nice little light beams coming through here, mixing that old and new technology together into its own unique thing. I think I just came in here, didn't I? Yeah, the old wine cellar. Not that you can really tell by looking at it. Ashley, I need to find you. Do I come back up here? This part's like a maze. I do not have the brain for mazes. Alright, where's that map? Oh, going up the top there. Map. La. Oh wait, so did I miss something downstairs? Oh my god, this happens to me every time in this part too. You'd think after all these years I'd have this shit worked out. But I don't. No. Oh. It's not in here, man. It's not in here. I get so easily lost in games. Oh, that's right, yeah. I do have to go back up to the red door. This is like a Metroid game, Dan. Get your head together. This game just turned into Metroid. So there's a little bit of backtracking, I guess, in this area of the game, but I'm pretty sure this is the last bit. After this is very much... The game becomes, like, super linear, and so I keep talking about, like, the tonal changes of this game. Like, it very much started out as a survival horror. I think at this point, the first point, it becomes, like, a silly, campy action movie. And by the time you reach here, it's just pretty much a full-blown action movie. Although this is still very much survival horror-ish here. You will see very soon that it is going to turn into an absolute, just dumb action movie. And let's look from the other side. Oh my god, what have I done? Or what haven't I done? That's what I thought. There's like another door up here. What? Oh my god. My brain. My poor little brain. It's too early in the morning for thinking. Thinking about things. At least I've got that map to help me. I'm currently playing through Wolfenstein, the New Order on the Xbox One, and I love it. Its use of maps is a little different. It's got very much the old school map design where you have to actually find a map in the environment, and then if you don't have that map, you kind of like have to work stuff out on your own. I very much like that. Okay, so we come up here. Right, wait. Is there a door? Oh my god, there it is. I am an idiot. I'm sorry for all that fart-arsing around. I got confused, but now we're back on track. We're gonna kill some guys. Yeah, Wolfenstein, you have to actually find maps. Oh, I can do this a bit. Ow. Ow. So by the time this comes out, I should know if I still have a future here in Halifax or not, so that's interesting. I hope I do. I hope by the time this episode comes out, we discover that the government decided not to take away the tax incentives here. That's something I probably would have gotten into one of the cameo episodes that I recorded after this, that will be released before this. Oh yeah, I came here to use one of these, didn't I? What's wrong with me? There we go. Alright. Wait for these guys to open up again. If they will. I think that way too you get a certain distance. There we go. I quite like that little puzzle, that little trick there. I remember the first time I came here and that happened, I was like, what the fuck? Well, there's the guy. Was this just open for me? Gotta move back here again. Kind of annoying. Gonna have to come back to like trigger the event but like each time there's like different guys in here, which is I thought a pretty cool little thing to do. But at the same time, it's kind of annoying, the mechanic of how it works. You're having to go back and forth to trigger the event that causes it to change the enemies that are behind there. Gotta take the good with the bad, as they say. Someone said that. Someone important. I don't know who he was. Maybe he was the president. Probably not, though. Probably not. So today I'm going to be cleaning the apartment. We're going to be... I did the oven yesterday. I think today we're just looking at repainting what's left of the old apartment we were in, and because it's Easter Friday today, so that gives you an idea of how far ahead this was recorded. Quite far. I like to be safe. Yeah, we're in our new apartment now. It's very echoey. As you can no doubt tell, it's because we have timber floors and we are yet to have any curtains. Once we have curtains, it should be a little better. It should absorb a lot of the sound. Oh my god, this is okay. So this is proper survival horror in here. This is one of my favorite enemies in the game, the Regenerator. Something inside must be blocking the door. It's locked. What if I use the computer? Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. So the whole idea of this is to get it to go with certain color from certain path. Oh, there we go. Whoops. You want to... Oh, yeah, I get it. There we go. It's a supercomputer. Super awesome computer security system, but no one could ever crack that code. Oh, Lewis is member. No one cares about Lewis. He's dead now, poor guy. This stuff is horrifying. So we've got a Los Plagas, like frozen in time. These like metal things over this guy. The stuff in here is just messed up. Super, super eerie and creepy, and I love it. And apparently this is what a card key looks like. Now I'm no expert at security. Oh, see, oh my god. So this enemy here, the Regenerator, you want to use the rifle and you want to use your infrared scope. Now normally in this part of the game you don't have the infrared scope yet, and so you're trying to just kill the thing. Well, let's show you what this guy's all about. If you blow off its leg, he will still come after you. I mean, which is, you know, pretty fucking terrifying. We'll blast off his head too. That won't stop him. Like, these guys are literally pretty much indestructible. Unless you shoot those little floaty things, those little, they're like parasites, I guess. Parasitic things. The way that door opens is so fucking creepy to hear. The sounds they make are horrifying too. But yeah, you can't, killing those guys with conventional weapons, you really need the infrared scope in order to see those little weak spots that they have there. And without being able to see those, you're kind of like just firing blindly and hoping for the best. Of course, once you got the good Chicago typewriter, like I do, it doesn't really matter as much. You can just lay into these guys and kill them just with sheer damage. But before you have this weapon, they're certainly not the hardest enemy in the game, but they're certainly the most disturbing and creepy by a large margin. Like a crazy large margin. I don't know if you can hear that breathing. I'm going to go quiet just so you can. Okay, so being able to hear that is just oof. Unsettling. Incredibly unsettling. And this is not a room you want to be in, obviously. But yeah, I absolutely love the design of the Regenerator. I think he's brilliant. The mechanics of this enemy are just absolutely first rate. And from what I've seen, I think he's actually the creepiest thing in any Resident Evil game. He's lost half his head, that grows back. Lost his arm. Lost his leg. Lost his other arm. Nope. Killed him with sheer damage. I was trying to shoot off all of his limbs. So even if you blow off all his limbs, he will keep coming. Which is obviously a large part of what makes him so fucking horrifying. The thing is, there's actually another version of them that's actually even more terrifying, which we will run into. Sucks to be them. Which is actually even more terrifying, I think, than that. Okay, so now we have the waste disposal card key. Oh boy, that means we're going into the garbage. So normally this is where you get the infrared scope. We already have a infrared scope, but if we get a second one, we can sell it. So why not? Money is good money. I don't know what I'm going to do with the money. I'm not going to be able to afford the infinite rocket launcher, but you know, you never know. I might come up with some use for it. But yeah, so that's normally where you get the infrared scope. So you have to kill 3 of these things without the scope first, which is not an easy thing to do. Oh boy, you can hear another one. The music that accompanies them too is just so incredibly creepy. Alright, let's see if we can get rid of all his limbs. Oh, that's a thing that they can do too. And you can see the stuff hanging out of his mouth after he does it. So not all of them can. I don't know if all of them can do that or not. Okay, one leg gone. Both legs gone. Both arms gone. Nope, he's a dead man. But you get 5,000 pesos. Well, I guess 5,000 pesos isn't really a lot when you stop to think about it. Never mind, I thought I was getting a good deal, but I'm not actually. Yes, so I'm using the waste key. Here we go. Oh, goody. So yeah, this is a long chapter. Very long. I don't remember it being this long. No, I've said that before. I remember this bit. That's pretty much it for the survival horror. I'd say that's the last part, because now, for a massive shift in tone, we are going to be using this garbage collector to pick guys up and dump them into the waste disposal, which I think is absolutely hilarious. It never gets old. I can't believe that this is the thing they included in the game. has clipping issues. I love the fact these guys just stand still too. It's a little slow. It's good for shits and giggles, but it's not really a practical way of killing guys. It's certainly not as practical as just shooting them. Although that guy has a ranged weapon, but my solution to most things is usually just shoot it first and ask questions later. So there's a little hint there that we there might be a way out down there. You obviously don't take that right now because we're trying to get Ashley, but it kind of just gives you that idea that, well, hey, once I get Ashley, where am I going to go? And the answer is into the waste. I don't think I'm spoiling anything after clicking on that little text box. It should be pretty obvious that that's where we're going to go. Ah, Ashley, really? Trapped in the closet. Ashley's trapped in the closet. Two of these guys. Normally that would be a big deal, but not for me. Oh. Okay, maybe it's a little bit of a deal. Bit of an ordeal. No, not really. Those guys are a pain in the ass too. The easiest way to take out those guys I find is with grenades. Usually takes about 2 grenades to kill those guys. I need a card key, god damn it. The gift that keeps on giving. Ah, yes, of course. I remember this room coming up here. There's about to be a massacre. So many guys. This is definitely where the difficulty, there's a huge spike of difficulty in this part of the game purely because there's so many ranged characters. And ranged characters in this game are butts. And I think that the real reason people used to complain about the lack of mobility when you're aiming and things like that, which I can kind of understand. I think it's, the dust in this, it's like they've used different kinds of light beams in different rooms. They don't all have that dust moving around. I think it just looks like it's just like a texture with a opacity on it. But anyway, the lack of mobility I think is much more of an issue with ranged enemies than it is with just because you can't take cover, than it is with the standard bad guys. Oh boy, here we go again. So I actually have a figurine of this guy. This is the fully upgraded version of the Regenerator. This guy is fucking bad news. His name is the Iron Maiden. I'm gonna let him hurt me just so you can get an understanding of why he's called that. Oh man, he's so freaking creepy. That's why, because he shoots spikes out of his body. And when he has his full legs and everything, he will actually grab you and pull you into his body spikes, which is, far from pleasant. Why he had the storage card key, I don't have any idea. I got no idea why he had it or how he got it. He just does okay. Don't ask questions. Just go with the flow, mate. What are they growing in these petri dishes? Oh, I don't know, what are they growing? Stuff. Petries. The ones here are larger and more grotesque. Yeah, that's science for you. It's all about the large and grotesque. Let's get back out of here, I guess. Let's go get Ashley, now that we can leave. Now that we are free to go. I'm going to get my health back. And we're out of here. Let's wrap this episode up before it drags on too long. These environments really confuse me. They're like linear, but they're not. I think this is the way up. I think. Is this where I came in? There's a typewriter here. I don't remember that being there. Okay, let's go down the hall here. Yes, because after you do things like that, they respawn enemies in the room, so you don't just come back through an empty room, because that wouldn't be very fun, would it? That would be quite boring if you came here, collected what you needed, and then just walked back and there was nothing there to stop you. What would be the point? There would be no point, is the answer. No point at all. Though a lot of these enemies, like in this part of the game too, you tend to be running really low on like, supplies, which is also part of what makes it so difficult. I hope I'm going the right way. I really do. Yeah. Oh, there's a switch here. What does that do? Security switch on the door to the left. Oh. For some reason I thought this room got bad guys back in it again too, but I guess it didn't. Weird. Oh, wait, what? Oh my god, I'm so fuzzled. I'm razzle-dazzled. I went the wrong way. I did go the wrong way. I am sorry for all my going the wrong way in this part of the game. That's quite embarrassing. You can kind of see why I get lost, though. It's very much designed like a real building. It's actually worth noting the level design in this is actually really good. It is like a real industrial building. It makes sense in that way, and I tend to get lost in those sorts of buildings just like I am here. Here we go. Now we can save Ashley.
Leon!
You okay? Come on, let's get out of here.
And that's it. That's the end of the episode. Thank you for joining me. Sorry that ran a little long again. I thought we were going to be done with these longer episodes, but not the case. Anyway, join me next time. You kind of get a bit of an idea of what's going to happen thanks to our little picture up at the top right. So thanks for joining me. Hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good one.